going to set up what we're going to call a snare trap and see if we can maybe catch a rabbit or something for dinner. Alright? First thing, when you go setting a trap, pick a sapling that's strong enough, that's got enough snap. Like this, just doesn't have a lot of give to it. What we did, we picked our site, got our sapling, and a little place where rabbits have been coming through here. So what I did, I found out my location where my sapling is going to come down. Okay, so I cleaned out where most all the little grass and stuff won't interfere with our trap. Okay. We basically need 3 pieces of wood to make this trap. We need a Y, so we can put it something like that. And this is going to be our trigger anchor. Okay. And what I did, I kind of made this 2-way so I could show you. Okay, what this does, this goes in the ground somewhat. Okay, and this is our actual trigger. We tapered one end down to where it would fit inside this notch that we made on the anchor. The way this works, the trigger goes through the Y, hooks in our notch. We're going to pull our sapling over, tie a rope around this trigger. Something's going to come in, touch this point, and boom, the snare goes off, hopefully. We may have to back this up just a little bit. We don't want it to hit the ground. That's one of the things we got to watch. We don't want this to hit the ground when it comes out, because it will slow down the trap. So if we put it back farther, clear. Okay? Okay. Now I'm going to go and get this thing set up, and then once I get it tied off and anchored down, I'll kind of show you how this works. Oh, one of the things I was talking about. A little notch we made in the anchor. Right here. Okay, you can always, like I did on this side, where the limb starts, you can make a notch there. The reason I like this better, because I think it's more of like a hair trigger. I think it's easier to set off. Okay? Alright, so here's what we got so far on our snare. Got our tree bent over, got it hooked. That's our anchor. We turned it around, used a little limb that was on it. Our trigger goes through underneath the Y. Only thing is, we're going to have to shorten the trigger a little bit. See how the trigger's touching the ground? So what we're going to do, we're going to shorten it back about here. Alright, y'all. Got the snare trap set. There's our anchor, trigger, our Y, our bait on the end there. And you see we took our loop and run it right around where he almost has to stick his head right inside here to get the bait. So we'll leave that, see what happens. Okay? Now, we'll go set a deadfall trap. Okay. We're going to try to set up a deadfall trap. Alright. Let's see. We've already cleaned out our little spot. The reason I picked this spot is these squirrels running up and down this tree right here. So, maybe a squirrel, mouse or something, get curious, come down, want a little bite to eat, take our bait, set the trap. Okay. Things we need to make this trap. First thing, I know everybody thinks a rock's a rock. Well, not always. Right. First thing, you want it pretty much flat on the bottom side. That way whatever's under it, flat. Okay. This one, it's a little bit off balance because of this. If I wanted to, I could take and chip this away. but I've already set it up for a trial run. I think we'll be okay. Another thing about this rock, it's got this little notch right here. That's where I'm going to place my anchor for my trigger. And on this trap, our anchor and our support for our deadfall weight are the same piece of wood. What I did, took a stick, figured out how tall I wanted it, cut it off on both ends. Then I split it. Okay. After we split it, we want to carve like a half moon in each piece. Okay. Reason for this being, when we put this together, that's what's going to hold our triggers, that little notch. Another little pointer, before I cut this in half, I made a mark. I just took and peeled part of the bark off, up and down both sides. So that way when I cut it in half, I could put it back together the same way it came apart. Okay. Then, this is actually going to be our trigger. The blunted end, tapered off, is going to be the part that goes into support, the little notch we just talked about. And this, I sharpened it up so we could put bait on the end. Okay, what we're going to use for bait, same thing we used on the snare trap, a little part of a peach starting to mate, and an almost ripe blackberry. Alright, let's see if I can't get this thing set up. Okay, we got our bait on our trigger. Okay, I want to show you kind of what this thing's going to look like when we get it all set up here. Line our notches up. See the hole it makes through the middle? Okay. This is going to actually stand up this way. And this is going to go right through here. And what that's going to do, see how the top half moves when I touch the trigger? What that's going to do is let the weight of the rock push this on down. Okay? Okay. Alright, we're all set up. See the support, that's the one that I cut in half. Made the notch in to make a complete circle. Trigger goes through the notch. Bait goes on the end. Something touches the trigger, hopefully this rock falls. And we have dinner. Alright.